Look, Shelby, it's snowing.
Captain's Log Supplemental.
Hey, Shelby, it's Friday, November 9th. I haven't really done anything this week, but I don't want to get punished again. There's nothing more frightening than the feeling that your roommates are going to return at any moment and find you in front of the camera just talking. I'm debating on whether or not to make a video about this, but I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to give you a beginner's guide to fan fiction. There are 3 things that fan fiction must have in order to be considered good fan fiction, at least in my mind. First one, the characters are in character. The second thing it needs, besides having in-character characters, needs to have interesting plot. 3, it needs to be well written. Here's just some basic terms you should know. AU stands for alternate universe, as in the story takes place outside of the normal universe of that fandom. So, for example, a very popular AU to do is a high school AU, where all of your characters from this fandom are now high school students in a high school. This is totally overdone, and don't even, if it's a high school AU, just don't even bother with it. It's not worth your time. Crossover. A crossover is when you take the characters from one fandom and you shove them into the universe of another fandom. And the characters from your 2 fandoms meet. A very common one is Wholock, where you take people from Doctor Who and have them meet Sherlock or whatever. There's also a thing called merge, which is similar to a crossover, but instead of characters from Doctor Who meeting characters of Sherlock, you have Sherlock and those characters, and you just slip them into the Doctor Who universe without them necessarily having to meet the actual already established characters in Doctor Who. OOC means out of character. You want to avoid this. Lemons. Lemons means porn, so avoid it. PWP means porn without plot, also avoid that. I mean, I guess you could not avoid those things, but I know you, Shelby, and I know you don't want those things. Certain fandoms lend themselves to better fan fiction than other fandoms. For example, Avatar, The Last Airbender, generally has crappy fan fiction because, let's be honest, the target audience is younger, and so younger people are writing the fan fiction, and no offense to young writers, they don't write very well. Sherlock, for example, tends to have good fan fiction. However, there also is a lot of porny stuff. So you just have to, be aware of this stuff if you're looking through that. It takes a lot of effort to try to find a good piece of fan fiction. Sometimes you have to sift through hundreds of stuff, although there are plenty of ways to narrow down easily whether or not it's going to be something good or bad. Just so you know, looking at the number of reviews or the number of favorites is not a good indication of whether or not the story is actually well written. This is a pretty obvious one. When you are reading through the list of titles and summaries, if there is a lack of capitalization or poor grammar, just automatically skip over it. Don't even go for it. Also, if the author writes in the summary, it's better than it sounds, just avoid it. Because if the author has to say it's better than it sounds in the summary, it's not very good. Several types of stories and cliches that happen. Sometimes if you're looking at fan fictions written for non-canon pairings. Now, the problem with fan fictions with non-canon pairings, my roommate came in while I was talking, and she finally went away, and now it's been an hour and I can't remember what I was saying. I have a lot of fan fiction where they sort of do a retelling of what has happened in canon, but they do it from either like another perspective or they do their own thing. I've actually done this before. Most of the time, it's pretty boring. There's always the fan fiction where it's like this new original character. By the way, OC stands for original character. We have this OC that is somehow thrown into the universe of this fandom, and the OC is always a Mary Sue, and yeah, avoid those for the most part. Tell me I don't know how to end this video.